Hello, welcome back to another video on the channel where healing and spiritual growth are front and center. This video shout out goes to a Darina Benetskaya. Forgive me if I mispronounced any of that, but thank you for your continued support. And real quick disclaimer, you may hear the occasional airplane or squeak of the chair. Okay, it is what it is, right? We're going to dive into a little bit more about the purpose, okay? Your calling, when God calls you to do something, okay? And how it can be stationary or mobile, because it kind of ducktails off of when God says up the ante, okay? And it also ties in with when I have spoken about how the local, okay, your purpose could be local or it could be global. All right, depending on what it is that God put in you to do. All right, yes. All right, so before you get lost in the message or go tackling another task while listening, let's remember to give the video a thumbs up so that other fellow chosen survivors can get the message as well. Because this is your inspo, your encouragement, and to answer some of y'all's questions that may be lingering, okay, about when God's going to get you in your purpose, or when you get in it, what are you supposed to do with it? And that kind of thing. All right, thank you in advance. All right, now, and I'm going to provide an example just to help you all put it in perspective. Okay, for those of you who realize that your purpose, okay, is going to require some traveling, okay, that means it's going to be mobile, okay? And it can go either way, right? So you'll do some of the stuff that you've got to do in your own home, and then you'll do some stuff on the road like we are right now, okay? So there you go. All right, that's the best example. And so we got to be ready for that. All right, got to be ready. Remember, God needs us to be ready, all right, for when He is going to reveal what His calling is for you. And remember, it's going to be part of the dreams, the goals, the passions, all of those things that you love to do that were put on the back burner because we all got duped and tricked into being a doormat for the narcissistic abuser. Okay, so now God's going to have us bring all that back to the forefront, okay, to the front burner now. And then it's like, okay, and that's part of what God means by the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Turning everything around into the upright position as it should be. All right, so we're not living in the upside down world and that narcissistic bubble anymore. All right, we're in God's reality and the spiritual awakening, and so He needs us to be ready for whatever it is, okay? And to know that, let's say part of it is to, let's see, off the top of my head, let's just say part of it is going to have you at the local level, and you might not necessarily need to do as much traveling as another chosen one, but you will still do some traveling, okay? It just won't be as often. It's like with fellow warrior, yes, okay, who's finally getting into what God's called her to do, and so let's give her a huge congratulations, you all. It's great. It's just another thing to get excited about what God's doing, in your life, and so that way you'll be ready. Okay, be ready and have this knowledge and understand that, okay, once God gets everything together, okay, He brings it all together once you get started. Okay, because remember, we got to learn a new thing. We have to, okay, got to unpack that bag, okay, to get to go in there and snatch everything that God put in us to do. We got to go snatch it. It's like we got to snatch it back, right? There you go. Okay, so we got to unpack that bag once we've done that, and then we get started, okay? So here's to help you all put this part in perspective, okay? The whole process. And it's not going to look exactly the same for each and every one of us. This is just to help you get a clearer idea, okay? Something that I share with you, okay, and about this process, you might pick, a few of those things that will probably, you would modify it for yours, okay? You would modify something, okay? You're totally allowed to do that, all right? We are. After all, we're going to fine tune and tweak along the way anyway as we learn more new things that aligned with our purpose. And so for, hers isn't going to necessarily, her and I had this discussion, hers isn't necessarily going to require as much traveling as CHA, okay? Even though I'll be doing a lot of work from the house, I'm also going to have to come to y'all. Yes, we can't expect, okay, our fellow chosen ones to always up and come to us. We've got to go to them sometimes too, because we're on the global, okay? Consulting for Heightened Awareness is a global purpose, all right? Whereas if yours is just local, you'll still do some traveling, obviously, because you will still need to market your ministry, whatever it is. You'll still need to market it, but how you do it be a little bit differently. That's the difference, okay? And how often God will guide your steps as to which way you'll go. And this is a classic one. This trip was not planned way in advance. It was a Wednesday evening, and I was having a conversation with God as always, and I realized something. I was like, well, okay. I said, I really need to get XYZ done, and I need to get away from and out from any negativity and stuff like that I don't pay attention to anyway. But we do need, if we happen to still be in somewhat of an environment that has that, and we figured out how to tune them out, but there's still some things that we're discovering about ourselves, or learning about ourselves, or learning about whatever God is putting uploading there. And I was like, okay, well, I've got this XYZ I need to get done, and I need to do it with nothing, aside from the aviation noise, which is not that bad, by the way. Okay, it's not bad at all. It's all right. It's only a few seconds here and there, but that's not what we're talking about. That stuff. No, I'm talking about the noise and pestilence from the TV and all the other the ruckus, chaos, and drama out there. We need to get here. All right, and so we, God said, take another trip. I was like, really? Okay, and started searching for available rooms, and then I said, well, where? And he said, Georgia. And I was like, oh, okay. So what I did was I was thinking about the places, okay, when I used to drive truck. For those who didn't know that. Okay, I was an over-the-road truck driver for a season of my life. And now I realize what that was. Not only just a job and learning new things, but it also prepared me for this exact thing, because it gave me the location to go to, the places that I had always passed by. Because, when you're working, you're driving truck, it was the narcissistic abuser, yes, okay, all right, you all, it was it was one of those situations. However, we were a team, okay, across country, and we often would take expedited loads. So there was so many beautiful places across this country that I wanted to stop and just kind of explore, but we didn't have the time. Now we have the time, and we have a purpose and the intention behind it, to be able to go and take Consulting for Heightened Awareness, okay, CHA, to be able to take it out there, all right, and come to you all at various locations. And so that's how that works. And so that was God's preparation. There you go. See, that's something for y'all to work on. There's your homework. Okay, you can start thinking about, okay, let's see, different jobs that you may have held. For those of us who have held multiple different jobs, okay, because we're not fortunate enough to have worked in a non-toxic workplace. Some of us, okay? I know they're out there, but hey, guess what? We learned that we had to create our own non-toxic workplace. There you go. All right, so that's just how it happened. And so we start thinking back, okay, not living there, but looking back to reflect, okay, to ask God, okay, what was this in preparation for? You know, like what was this season or this experience or these work-related skills? What was that in preparation for? Right? Because kind of look at it that way, that everything that we have experienced in life, God was always in there with some prepping work going on, okay? Stop to think about that, okay? It makes sense that everything, all of our experiences, good and bad, okay, come something in there, a lesson, right? A lesson, and then also a skill set, okay? A skill set that we will, you know, either need to revisit, okay, practice again, bring it back, and enhance it, okay? Because let's face it, you know, when we got in that narcissistic abuse situation, all right, we had the skill set, but it's kind of stayed stagnant, right? Because we were focused on people pleasing with the abuser, so it didn't really get a chance to grow. Okay, so now is your opportunity. Okay, so we go get that out of the bag and say, okay, and then what else can we learn to go with that to enhance that skill and that gift and that talent that God gave us? It's no longer stagnant now, because we're out of that. All right, so now what do we need to learn? And so that's when we start doing the research, things like that. Right, so there's your homework right there to start reflecting about, okay, what are the skill sets that I have picked up over the years, that you have picked up over the years, and as always, however it is that you study, right, whatever method works for you, whether, you know, in a notebook, you know, the notepad on the phone, however it is you do your studying, or a Word document, pages, whatever, however you study, okay? And you want to write this stuff down, okay? Because they're for you, all right? And make sure that they're for your eyes only. You and God, okay? They're for your eyes only, all right? Unless you know you've got another chosen one that you'd like to share it with, and you know you can trust them, okay? Because there are going to be little aspects along with that that's going to kind of give you hints as to whether or not your purpose is going to be, you know, stationary, meaning local, or if it's going to be mobile, global, okay? There's going to be little things in there that's going to kind of tell you, all right, that whether or not, I mean, every one of us is going to do a little traveling, yes, but depending on what your calling is, okay, it's going to be, you know, whether or not you're going to do extensive traveling or if just a little bit here and there for marketing purposes as well. All right, so it's like God introduced me to that. All right, when I took the very first business trip, and I had that conversation with him, and I was thinking that would be the last time I would have to, I would have to like leave to not only keep my sanity, but to avoid a Jezebel. And so I was like, okay, I was thinking that, but God said, no. He said, he's like, CAJ is going to be traveling. So I'm introducing you to the new life with him. And yes, the light just went out. One of them. But anyhow, so he was introducing me. So that's what he's going to do for you. All right? That's how God works. He's going to introduce you. Okay? A little at a time. Remember, God doesn't just throw the whole thing right at you. He knows you're going to have he'll throw several things maybe, but, you know, he knows you got to sort through it. And so he's going to give you the time to do that. In fact, he wants you to do that with him. Okay? So never forget that. And so sometimes, and that's how he'll up the ante also, is that it's like, okay, as he continues to level you up, and he tells you, all right, I'm going to need you to go here or go there, and things like that. All right, so there's that. All right, so all those places that I wanted, you know, I would love to have stopped off and taking I don't really want to say tour, but yeah, look-see, and enjoy God's creations and see what, that particular jurisdiction or location is all about and stuff like that. So now we get the chance to do that. All right, you see? Yeah, because I remember while driving. See, that's the other thing y'all can think about. You'll know that you thought about that at one point, right? Something similar, okay, from way back that you would like to have done, but the opportunity didn't present itself then, right? But now it will, right? And that was one of mine, because I remember as we were taking those loads to and from, I was like, man, I would love to be able to stop off here and check the place out. I remember thinking that quite a lot. Okay, so now it comes back to how God brings it back. Remember, the Lord is our shepherd; we shall not want. All right, there you go. So even if it didn't happen at that particular season or that time in life, once we get in our purpose and we start doing the perfect will of God, all that will come back. That's how God restores. And tenfold. Big time. All right. But we got to be ready. All right. So there's going to be some certain steps. Once you've got that list, you've done that reflecting, and you're like, okay, this matches. Okay. And you'll know, because it'll feel right. Okay. You'll know. All right. And God will show you. He'll guide your step, because not everything that we picked up in all the different experiences or whatever is going to fit, with the purpose. Not everything. All right, but a lot will, because it was all part of God prepping to get you here. Yes, okay, to get you where He needs you to be. And so there you go, you all. That's your homework from this one. And as always, if you have any question, yes, you know where to reach me for additional information, insight, and other good stuff. Check out these videos right here. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching and for your support. Until next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.